Hello, and welcome to English Speaking Corner, your quiet, calm space to build real speaking confidence. I am so glad you have decided to join us today for this lesson. My name is Sarah, and I am here to guide you through a very common situation that many of us face when speaking English in the real world. I am joined today by my friend and colleague, Mark. It is wonderful to have you here with us, Mark.
Thank you, Sarah. It is a pleasure to be here. I am really looking forward to this session because the topic we are discussing today is something that I used to struggle with myself when I was learning a second language. We are talking about that moment when a conversation stops, the silence feels heavy, and you just do not know what to say next. It can be quite a stressful experience, can't it?
It certainly can, Mark. That is exactly why we are focusing on moving beyond the basic greetings today. Before we dive into our scene for the day, if you find these calm lessons helpful for your English journey, please do subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon. By doing that, you ensure that you never miss a chance to practice with us in this quiet, supportive environment. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment, or just relax where you are. Imagine it is 7 o'clock on a Saturday evening. You are at a housewarming party for a friend. The room is filled with warm light, the smell of delicious food, and the low hum of people talking and laughing. You are standing in the living room holding a drink, and you have just been introduced to a friend of a friend. You have already finished the basic introductions. You have said hello, you have shared your names, you have even said where you are from and what you do for work. But now the initial information is finished. A silence starts to grow between you. You feel that pressure in your chest to say something, but your mind feels empty. This is what we call the interview trap, where you feel like you are just asking and answering questions like a test, rather than having a real conversation. Does that sound familiar to you?
It certainly does. Many of our listeners feel like their personality disappears when they speak English because they only know how to give short, flat answers. Today, we are going to learn a simple habit called the statement plus question method. This habit will help you keep the conversation flowing naturally for 5 minutes or even longer without any stress. Let us start by looking at why the conversation often dies. Usually, it's because we answer a question with just 1 or 2 words. If someone asks me if I like the music and I just say yes, the conversation stops. I have not given the other person anything to work with. To fix this, we need to provide a gift. That gift is a small piece of information, a statement, followed by a question. Mark, let's try to show our listeners what this looks like in our party scene. I will be the person you just met. You start the conversation after the introductions are over. Sarah, it is a lovely house, isn't it?
It really is. I especially love the large windows in this living room. Do you know if our host, David, did the decorations himself?
Yes, I think he did most of it. He has a great eye for detail. Have you known David for a long time?
I have known him since university, actually. We used to study in the library together every Tuesday. How did you two meet? Now, let us pause there for a moment and look at what just happened. Did you notice how Mark and I didn't just ask questions? We shared a tiny story or an observation first. I mentioned the windows. Mark mentioned David's eye for detail. This gives the other person something to respond to. This is the secret to a natural flow. We are going to practice this together now. I want you to listen to a phrase, and then I will leave a quiet space for you to repeat it out loud. Remember, speaking out loud is the most important part of building your confidence. Let us practice a statement and a question about the environment. Listen first. The food looks amazing. Have you tried the spring rolls yet? Now it's your turn to speak. The food looks amazing. Have you tried the spring rolls yet? Very good. Let's try another one. This music is really relaxing. Do you know the name of the artist? Now you repeat it. This music is really relaxing. Do you know the name of the artist? That was excellent. You are already starting to use the environment to build a bridge between you and the other person. Mark, what is another way we can find things to talk about when we are at a party or a social event?
That's a great question, Sarah. I think one of the easiest ways is to talk about the reason everyone is there. At a housewarming party, the common link is the host or the house itself. You can always ask how someone knows the host. This is what I call the relationship connection. Instead of just asking, do you know the host, you should add your own statement first. For example, I might say, I work with David at the office, so I've heard a lot about this new place. How do you know him? By saying that I work with him, I am giving the other person a chance to ask me about my job or the office. It opens a new door for the conversation.
Let us practice some relationship connection phrases together.
I will say the phrase slowly and clearly, and I want you to repeat it in the pause. I met Sarah through a mutual friend a few years ago. How do you know her? Now you try. You might notice that we are using very common, natural phrases. We are not using textbook language that sounds stiff. Phrases like to be honest, or actually, or definitely help to soften your speech and make it sound more like a native speaker. Mark, why is it helpful to use these little filler words?
These words give you a tiny bit of extra time to think. If you start a sentence with, well, to be honest, you have gained 2 seconds to find the next word in your head. It also signals to the listener that you are sharing a personal opinion, which makes the conversation feel more intimate and friendly. It is a very useful tool for an intermediate speaker.
Let us practice using some of these softening words. Repeat after me. To be honest, I am a bit tired after work today. Your turn. To be honest, I am a bit tired after work today. Let's try another. Actually, I have never tried that kind of food before. Your turn. Actually, I have never tried that kind of food before. One more. Definitely, I think that is a wonderful idea. Your turn. Definitely, I think that is a wonderful idea. Wonderful. Can you hear how those words make the sentences feel more gentle and less like a robot? That is the atmosphere we want to create when we speak. Now, I want to talk about what happens when you don't agree with someone. In the Anchor video we watched recently, characters often had different feelings or misunderstandings. At a party, someone might say they love a movie that you thought was very boring. You don't have to agree just to be polite. You can disagree calmly. Instead of saying, no, that movie was bad, you can say, that is interesting. I found it a bit slow, actually. What did you like about it? This keeps the conversation respectful but honest. Mark, let's try a quick practice of a polite disagreement. Sarah, did you see the new superhero movie? I thought the action scenes were incredible.
Oh, I did see it. To be honest, the action was a bit too much for me. I prefer movies that are more focused on the story. What did you think of the characters?
I see what you mean. I thought the main character was very brave, but maybe the plot was a bit simple. Do you see how we didn't stop the conversation? Even though we had different opinions, we used the statement plus question method to keep exploring the topic. This is a very high level of fluency. It shows that you are comfortable enough to be yourself in English. Let us practice that polite disagreement phrase. Listen and repeat. That is interesting. I found it a bit slow, actually. Your turn. That is interesting. I found it a bit slow, actually. Now the follow-up question. What did you like about it? Your turn. What did you like about it? Very well done. We have covered a lot of ground today. We have talked about the housewarming party scene, the statement plus question method, the environment bridge, the relationship connection, micro responses for active listening, and even how to disagree politely. It is a lot of information, but remember, you do not have to master all of it today. English Speaking Corner is your space to return to whenever you need a refresh. You can listen to this episode again and again until these phrases feel like a natural part of your voice. Mark, before we move toward the end of our lesson, do you have one piece of final advice for our listeners who are going to try these techniques this week?
My advice would be to start small. You don't need to go to a big party to practice this. You can try the statement plus question method with a colleague at work, with a cashier at the grocery store, or even with a friend. Just try to add one statement before you ask a question. For example, instead of asking your colleague, "How are you?" try saying, "It is a very busy morning today. How are you doing?" It is a tiny change, but it makes a huge difference in how people respond to you.
That is wonderful advice, Mark. Starting small is the key to building a habit that lasts. I want to thank you all for spending this time with us today. It is truly a privilege to be a part of your English learning journey. We know that it takes courage to speak a new language, especially when you are an adult with a busy life and many responsibilities. But you are doing it, one episode at a time. Your English is becoming smoother, and your confidence is growing, even if you don't notice it every day. Please remember to take these lessons at your own pace. There is no pressure here. If you enjoyed this session, please do give this video a like and share it with a friend who might also be looking for a calm way to practice their speaking. Your support helps us to keep creating these lessons for you. As a next step, I have a small challenge for you. In the comment section below, I would like you to write one statement and one question using the method we learned today. Imagine you are at a party and someone just asked you about your hobbies. What would you say? Write it down and Mark and I will read through them and offer our encouragement. Writing it down is a great way to bridge the gap between thinking and speaking. It prepares your brain for the next time you are in a real conversation. If you want to keep practicing right now, I highly recommend watching our video on calm office conversations next. It uses many of the same principles we talked about today, but applies them to a professional environment, which I know is very important for many of you in the 25 to 40 age group. It is a great way to see these phrases in a different context. Thank you once again for being here at English Speaking Corner. We hope you feel a little more confident and a little more at peace with your English than you did 30 minutes ago. Remember to keep breathing, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep being yourself. You have a unique voice, and the world wants to hear what you have to say, even if it is in simple English. We look forward to seeing you in our next lesson. Have a beautiful, confident day, and keep speaking, one step at a time. It was a pleasure practicing with all of you today. Remember that every small conversation is a victory. Whether you are talking about the weather, a movie, or your favorite food, you are making progress. Do not be afraid of the silences. They are just spaces for your next great thought. Take care of yourselves and keep that positive spirit. Goodbye for now, and we will talk again very soon. Before we truly finish, let us do one last round of shadowing for the road. We will use the most important phrase of the day. Listen carefully. I am really enjoying our conversation. What do you like to do in your free time? One last time, with feeling. I am really enjoying our conversation. What do you like to do in your free time? That was perfect. You are ready. Go out there and try it. We believe in you. Goodbye. The journey of learning a language is not a race. It is a walk through a beautiful forest. Sometimes the path is steep, and sometimes it is flat and easy. But as long as you keep moving, you will reach your destination. We are so proud of the work you are putting in. See you in the next episode of English Speaking Corner.